Hello, beautiful divine beings. Thank you for tuning in and being here with me today. I know I've been absent from really posting and being on YouTube. And then it brings me to the reason why, to the subject of today, and it's integrating. There's so much energy surrounding us, so much happening in the world and in our lives. And it's just important that sometimes we just have to take time out to integrate it all and really um, look back is the word that's coming to me now. Look back and see what all of it, the good, the bad, the in-betweens, um, is really um, indicating, telling you it's everything that happens to us is for a reason and a purpose. And it's to get us back to being truly who we are in our inner world and outer world, and the both the inner and outer world meeting and integrating and becoming the same on the inside and the outside. And because we live in a world of duality, and we are divine beings in a human body having a human experience, but where the earth is changing, we as human beings are changing and vibrating up so that the inside and outside begin to balance each other and then integrate. And part of that, is letting it all um absorb, integrate into you. um and so that's the place that I've been in, and I know many other people are on their way to that, and some are already there. And for you that are there, you know what I'm talking about. And this is an important part, and it's so important at this time. If you are to continue to heal, not only inwardly but outwardly, we do a lot of healing on the inside, and then our body begins to integrate that healing. The healing process takes a while. It just, because we are human beings in a human body, um, you know, and we are divine, and that's the missing. I'm hearing link, but the missing part of what we have forgotten, that we are divine. We are children of the divine, of source. Therefore, we are. And that is very important in our evolution. We have been evolving ever since life began on this planet, no matter how you believe it to be, period. And we only are able, or have been able, to how should I put this? It's in the revealing, and when we first come from life, we're observing. So let's put it this analogy. We're as babies, we're not able to communicate, but we can see, we can hear, and we can feel. And I believe when we are babies, and I've watched, not myself, but have experienced it. But in others, I was the oldest child, so I had many siblings, and then now my siblings have children, um, and now their children have children, and watching these beautiful children come into the world now, They have a knowing. That's why I know we came in with it, but for some reason it was not available to us um, as we um, developed into from toddlers, from babies into toddlers, and then to children, and then to young children, and then to, womanhood and manhood, and evolving on and on and on. And our wisdom, those things that we learned that was accessible to us at that time, be it through verbally being told things or reading things or, just seeing for ourselves. And I know I had a strong knowingness because as a child, um, I daydreamed it a lot. And I don't, I can't recall to you what I daydreamed, but I was even in school to the point that the teachers would always, all my report cards that I'd ever seen is, Roberta is a bright child, but she daydreams too much in class or she becomes distracted. And what they meant by that I later learned, is that I was just checking out when my teacher would begin to break it down and explain it over and over to those who didn't get it. Or they'd write it out and they'd go on. They would lose me. So I was checking out. I didn't know any better, but it came out as my report card as I daydreamed. My point being is that we all learn differently. Me, I know, I just knew it. The teacher would introduce it, I got it. I didn't need to be broken down, explained to me. Some people need the visuals, the chalkboard, the books, pictures, Um, some people need the spoken word, the audio, and some people need the experiential and the doing. And then there are those like myself that have the knowing. And I always would tell people, I don't know, I just osmosisize it. So the best way I can explain it is I would pick up a book, skim through it, go to the pieces that I needed to know, and I would just get it. I didn't need to read the whole book. My primary mode is knowing, and then my secondary is experiential, and then, my next one is um, visual, and then auditory, or it might be, those two might be somewhere equal. But the other thing they did in my, my family found out, and is that I was dyslexic. So that meant that I would see the letters in the words not as they appeared to be written. They were jumbled, or maybe I saw them backward. They called it mirror-mindedness, where but I don't know. But I do know that I had difficulty reading and spelling for this reason, at which I, being the child of knowing and experiential, was my way of developing, that I was able to turn that around and get my mind patterned to looking and focusing at the word and putting it all together, that way. And I can't really tell you exactly how. I can only tell you what how that all worked, but I can only tell you how it came together for me. And that's another different story. The story here is that we are very different and we process things differently. Like I said, I am knowing. So I get information, ideas, and I go, huh. And then I put it to the test to see if it's true. And so then there's a fine line between the imagined, and what is truth, and then what is perceived by others, because I am also an empath. I feel things. Um, and so I'm very tapped in and tuned into who I am, myself, Um, and I was shy. So being a shy child, I would spend a lot of time with myself. I loved going out in nature and sitting there and being in the trees and watching the birds and playing out in nature which unfortunately people don't do as much today, but that's okay. Children are still in tune when they come in, and they are able to really pick up on the energy, and it's their environment um, that they navigate and what they are told, and this is why this age of uh, all this TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and what all of them. I mean, there's so many social medias now, and the internet. There's so much information at their hands, but you gotta realize, people, that some of this information is not truth. And so, a lot of my teaching is getting you to center and focus and go within, because within us is where the real truth lies. It's where our connection with Source, all that is, with Father, Mother, God, Goddess, the universe, Gaia, Mother Earth, Father Sky, all that is, Source, that infinite source of life and light and love, and that connectedness of who and what we truly are. And when you take time out of this busy world to process all that, there's so many stuff coming into us, and we're being bombarded, and how do you filter that all out? And that was something that came up actually for me this last week. Not come up for me because I know this, but it was a message that was told to me for a friend of mine for her birthday. And so, being the being that I am, and listening to what I know and speaking the truth, that when I'm told to share something, I share it, as I'm doing now. But it was like, how do you filter what's right and what's wrong, what's truth and what's not? What are your own true beliefs, and what are those that have been put upon you by others, influencers? And I laugh because I've been saying this for a long time, and then it didn't equate to me that, especially once the internet and social media is, and they're called influencers, because that's what they're trying to do, is influence you one way or the other. Me, I'm not trying to influence you. I'm just trying to provide you with the wisdom and truth and the way to decipher your own. And it's very simple. The truth feels okay with you. It feels good with you. It resonates with you. Untruths don't. They don't set well with you. They cause you stress and worry and anxiety. And if there's something you're sitting with that's causing you anxiety, it's there for a reason, so that you can bring light to the truth, because what it is that's weighing heavily on your mind, and I say your mind, is causing you anxiety and stress, and it's not your truth, and chances are it's wrong for you, and it's not your own belief. You've been influenced with it, and so it's coming up for you to kind of go, okay, let me look at this, and what part of this is true, because in all untruths there is a bit of truth. A little bit, a string of truth. And so it's for you to pull out what that string is, that cord of truth is. And when you do find it, it releases that tension and stress from you, when you go, oh, that's all, that stuff is not truth, but let me look at what is truth about this. And then it feels good. You're not worried about it. It's a very relieving sense, and you feel, oh, good. Truth feels good. Now, there's a there's a difference between feeling good and being a little bit uncomfortable in it because it's foreign to you. But when you sit with it and you see if it resonates with you, and if it does, then it is your truth. And sometimes when I'm saying this uncomfortableness is because you're not really allowing yourself to take it in. You're not ready for the truth. And sometimes we're not. Sometimes you have to go out and experience it, and then then it feels like, oh yeah, right, that is truth. It's those epiphanies, the aha moment. And so right now we're in a time of, and my throat is very, mucusy, today, with bringing out clarity, I guess, within the words that I speak, so that I can be clearer with you, so that you can understand them better. And for a lot of people, speaking your truth, I can't say 100% because I can say almost, because um, I'm not all knowing. I have to go through the process of figuring it out. But when I do know it, it sets right, it feels right. And when I hear that I need to put this out there, like today, be comfortable with sharing what I'm going through. Because if I was, 100%, I would be ascended. I would, or I would be, an ascended master walking this plane, earth plane. And I'm here to say I'm not that yet, but I'm working towards that. And there's still a lot of truth to be revealed and discovered. But I'm here with you. And one thing I do know is that I am a divine being of love and light. I am Lady of Love and Light. My soul name is Riordan. My birth name is Roberta Lowry, and I am also known in some circles as White Owl Woman. And I am here as a way shower, a light bearer, a beacon of light to help those who are awakening and who may not understand that process and what they're going through, and for those who are and have awakened and are on that path and moving forward and just supporting you and who you are and where you're going and your truth. And so with that, I just want to close today and just let you know that whatever process and stage that you're in, it's okay, because you are processing. And we're getting ready to become very active again with this full moon energy that's coming up. There is a lot of action that will be facilitating moving forward, and it's going to depend on you and where you are in your growth, your evolution, your healing process. And if you're just beginning it, it's going to be rough and bumpy. I am here as a resource. Feel free to reach out to me by all means on my website, on Lady of Love and Light, my YouTube channel. All of that is in the description. These videos that I do and I share with you, the messages, the divine messages that I receive, and other downloads, and definitely the healing, meditative, inner guiding videos I do, and the divine healing energy images that I post and put on my website and on my
YouTube channel here sometimes. I post them with the videos. These are all things that my gifts that I am sharing with you. I am gifting to you. And I think it's important to give back what I've received. I've had many blessings throughout my life, and the divine has blessed me with these gifts. And all I ask is that if you know somebody who might benefit, that you share and that you like. Liking helps other people find me, and I think it's so important in the times that we're in. I wish I had had people such as myself, or that the internet was available at the time that I was awakening to help me navigate it. And I did bring in those people to me, um, but just in physical. But if I had this availability, it would have been a little more easier to find. And so that's all I'm asking.
And I'm gifting to you. All of my videos are gifted. Um, so, you know, because I've received a lot of blessings in my life and it's paying it forward. And I ask only that you do the same. And the only things that I do sell are my books and my art that I publish and put up for sale. And those are in some of my divine energy images. I do mark my energy images because they're my creation, and if they're stamped with that, they have the integrity and they're infused with love and light, as is everything I do.
I hope you have a blessed evening, day, morning, whatever that is, wherever you are. And that, no, whenever you're finding this information, it is the right time for you.
And I'm sending you much love and many blessings. Just open yourself to receiving the energy that the divine is sending to you now. And if you have any questions, please contact me. I'm a resource.